watching Slam Dunk, presented by your Southern California Chevy dealers.
And welcome back, everybody. I'm Rob Fukuzaki along with Norm Nixon and Lexie Brown, NBA champion, WNBA champion. Of course, Michael Cooper is off with his team, Cal State LA. He's an assistant coach on that team. I believe they're in Hayward tomorrow, San Francisco on Saturday. So good luck to Coop. Meantime, Lexie, you're doing a great job on the show. Thanks. Coop may never come back. I'm just kidding.
No, Coop,
No. You have your #1 job, which of course is the Sparks. Lexie, you're entering your second season with the LA Sparks. Last season, 12.4 points, 2.1 rebounds, 2.4 assists per game. How big of an adjustment was it for you to come and play for the Sparks, a team that was kind of in a transition mode at that time?
It wasn't hard for me at all. You know, I've been waiting to have an opportunity to show my talent in the WNBA. You know, this is a league full of the best in the world, and you know, I haven't had that opportunity really on any other team. So coming to LA my first year, you know, I had to earn my spot in training camp, which I did, and you know, I've just been, you know, rolling ever since. So you know, I'm just blessed to have this opportunity because I've worked so hard to cement myself in this league. So I mean, I'm so grateful to the Sparks for giving me the opportunity.
So what do you guys need to do to kind of turn it around and get it together for the playoffs? It's coming up soon. I
mean, we just have to stay healthy, You know, this season we got hit with all types of injuries. You know, I was, you know, sick. You know, the team caught a bug at the beginning of the season. Like, it was like one thing after another. But, you know, they stuck it out. We were still very close to making it to the playoffs. But, you know, the blessing in all this is that we got 2 first-round picks.
Yes.
Great for us.
We're going to talk about that and who you think they might pick. Speaking of those injuries, your season ending prematurely last season with a bacterial infection, had to go to emergency surgery. How are you feeling coming out of that, heading into the 2024 season?
Right now, I'm feeling great. You know, it's been a long.
How scary was that?
It was scary. You know, it's hard when your body tells you something and you have no idea what it's trying to tell you.
Yeah.
And I think that was the hardest part for me, was not really knowing what was going on. But my doctors, the team, our trainers, you know, they were so great supporting me through all of that. And I feel the best I've felt since, you know, this time last year. So I'm really excited.
All right, I'm going to come down now. You're going to see me sitting down there watching.
You bet. I'm going to hold you to that.
I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm coming to watch you.
Hey, the Sparks own the second pick in this season's draft. The top 3 players in college are Iowa's guard, Caitlin Clark. She's an amazing player. Stanford center Cameron Brink and UConn guard Paige Buchers. What type will fit your team, Lexie?
I just think we need, first and foremost, a good person. You know, I think that's the best thing for us. You know, we're building this Sparks culture, and that's based on having good people in the locker room. I think that we could use a scoring big or someone that gets rebounds. You know, we could really utilize, you know, any type of players. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I don't think that Indiana's going to pass up Caitlin Clark, but, you know, if they do, you know, we might not pass up on her. So, you know, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see which one of these seniors do decide to come out, because a lot of them do have the option to stay in college for an additional year.
Yeah.
That step back deep 3 at the buzzer against Michigan State was amazing.
Yes.
Now, what are the biggest challenges rookies face from college to the W?
I think the biggest challenge is, one, the pace and the IQ. You know, there's a lot of different coverages, spacing, actions on offense that, you know, not every college team, you know, covers while they're playing there. And I just think the transition being so fast. You know, if you're a tournament team, you make a deep run in the tournament, you know, you're in the Final Four one weekend, and 2 weeks later you're getting drafted, and a few weeks later you're in training camp. Yeah, and then a week after that you're in preseason. So yeah, I think the transition is definitely the hardest part. But it's doable. You know, we've been able to do it all these years. So they just got to come in ready to go.
Yeah. Hey, Norm, the Sparks have missed the last 3 postseasons, 4 of the past 5. The Sparks dealing with various injuries, as we talked about, Lexie. Now, besides health, what will it take to get the Sparks back where they belong, among the league's best? We're not just talking about making the playoffs. We're talking about being one of those teams that's the elite in the WNBA.
Well, I think, like Lexie said, you have to build a culture. You have to build a winning culture.
Yeah.
And your team have to put it out on the court. Then after that, you know, you got to have the right kind of players. You got to have a system to fit those players, and players have to leave it out on the floor. you cannot take a day off. You know, you have to play every time you step on the court. So I think that's where culture becomes something. We talk about the Miami culture. Those guys play hard every night. And it's also, our other saying was, all pros are made in the off season. What kind of work are you going to put in off season? So after this playoff, the off season is going to determine how well this team is going to do next season. So if the players put in the work and you build that culture, there's no question they'll be back.
Yeah, Coach Miller's working on that right now. It's very, very exciting because the WNBA enjoyed a boom in ratings last year. Audience increasing by 36%. The finals averaging 728,000 viewers for each game. The most watched finals in league history. Now with this newfound success, does the league, Lexie, have to rework the CBA that was struck in 2020 and runs through 2027 and provide better conditions and travel for players?
You know, I think that's a very broad question.
No.
You know, as amazing as this last CBA was for us as far as salaries, you know, maternity leave, things like that, healthcare, you know, there's a lot of work to be done. And I think that this uptick in support and ratings for women's sports in general, you know, has put a spotlight on our CBA. And, you know, Nneka Ogwumike, my teammate, is the head of our Players Association. And, you know, I hear her talking, you know, about it all the time. I have a lot of conversations with her about it. I think she does a great job of making sure that we're all taken care of. You know, it's a heavy load for her to carry, and being one of the best players in the W on top of it. So I want to give her flowers real quick. But, you know, this new media deal coming up, you know, I think it's going to be interesting to see what, you know, we decide to do with that.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that come up to Nneka Ogwumike and
go back and negotiate.
Yeah. And I'm a little older now. You know, I was a rookie when we signed that. So, you know, I don't really know what I was doing. So now, you know, I'm a little older, a little wiser. So, you know, we're going to make the right decision.
Yeah, strike while the iron's hot.